All right, so I've got my Illustrator file open from the previous day, and all I want to do is go to my layer where my originals are, and I'm going to drag in the Orphan Shadow. All right, Orphan Shadow is just a pen tool. That's what this is going to be. This is going to be working with the pen tool. I'm going to lock my original and go to my draw layer. All right, so let's kind of start here. The most difficult thing I think you guys are going to find is going to be the beak area. Okay, and so I'm going to take the pen tool. And we're gonna have to zoom in on this beak a little bit. And I'm gonna start here, and I'm gonna kind of, you're looking at an arc that kind of goes like this, okay? So I'm gonna start here, and I'm gonna get that arc of that first part of the beak, and immediately this is automatically gonna go up, okay? Can you see that? Let me get my, let me find a color here you guys can kind of see. Yeah, that's ugly. There we go. All right. You can see that automatically the next line wants to go in a downward arcing. So I'm gonna use that, and I'm gonna click right here. And then I'm gonna go right to about here, because this is kind of like the arc that I can sort of match with, okay? So I find that to be the best place to start because it is the hardest, all right? But you are gonna need to zoom in a little bit. The rest of this is straight pen tool. So I'm gonna go about half, because you're not gonna make this whole arc. So I'm gonna go about halfway, a little less than halfway, give or take, and I'm gonna pull my anchor point here, okay? Now you notice I'm not quite getting everything here. So I'm actually gonna pull up a little higher, all right? And I'm just gonna get a match right like that, okay? The next line is gonna arc, not awful, okay? I'm gonna go to about here, all right? And I'm using that natural arc on that one, and then this one, I'm gonna click, and the same deal. I'm gonna just get that arc to line up, okay? So far, really just pen tooling it. Now, this one's the arc, and I wanna go straight line down here. I'm gonna click on this, I'm gonna go down here. We're gonna do the bottom on its own. It's just, I find it to be easier rather than going all the way around the bird itself. So we're gonna go here, and then the hard part for me down here has always been lining up. The pink line is my smart guide. So I'm gonna line up to about here, and again, you can zoom in and zoom out and move things around while the pen tool is active. All right, I'm gonna go here, and now I gotta start my curve again. So again, about halfway, this curve's a little more consistent. So I'm gonna go to about here, and I'm gonna pull. Let's see what I can get. All right, hold on, let me zoom out a little bit. Here we go. All right, let me pull this through, and you can see I'm lining up pretty good. Again, if that first one isn't completely lined up, you may want to back up where you're going to. The bigger you go, the harder it's going to be to line up. Now you'll notice my second arch isn't too bad, okay? So I'm going to pull to about here, I think. Let's see, I'm going to click, I'm going to hit the escape key, I'm going to hold down Option. That's gonna let me bend my line a little bit. You can see I can bend it to perfect lineup. You can bend it while it's active. I find it to be a little bit easier to bend it while it's not. I'm gonna click here, I'm gonna click, and I'm gonna hold, and I'm gonna finish that arc. All right? So I have my shape here. I can change the color later. All right, I'll keep it at this really terrible green for now. All right, I'm gonna do this piece. All right, and again, we're back to the pen tool. All right, so I'm taking my pen tool, I'm gonna click right from here all the way up until it starts to arc, which is about here, okay? And I'm gonna click. Now this is an odd arc, so I'm gonna go to about here because I really wanna capture that angle a little bit, all right? I got it. Now I'm gonna go this way. This arc isn't too bad, and again, I'm gonna hold the Option key and I'm gonna adjust while I go so you can see both angles. So I did that live. I actually hit that pretty good, all right? Now I'm back here, and the same thing, I'm holding and I'm finishing. Okay. The issue with clicking too many times, and you can see I already did it, there's a little indent here, okay, because those 2 points don't line up exactly. So you really want to watch out when you're pulling that you match the angle as best you can, because you won't get as many dots in there that sort of have an indent, okay? That I find is to be the trickiest piece with that, all right? So now I'm around, and again, I'm going to do this complete piece here, so I'm going to click down. I'm gonna click a little bit of an overlap, and again, you'll see why I'm doing the overlap in a sec. I'm coming up here. This is an awkward arc. I'm not gonna worry about this one, or if you guys just wanna go a little rounded to it, I'm fine with that, okay? Now again, we're all the way over here, so we're gonna click to restart that line, all right? And you've got this, so I should be able to pull this and kind of line it up, all right? You notice it's a little straight at the end, okay? So we're gonna go here. It's like a straight line to here, and then we're gonna arc. All right, and then that shape's done. All right, and again, I want this. If it looks really bumpy, I'm not going to accept it. All right, so I'm just putting this over here for now. Now, as far as the bottom part, all right, and we'll do the shadow in a sec. I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to put this over here. I'm just cheating so I can line these up. This bottom piece, I know it looks angled. I'm not going to make you guys do that. We're just going to grab a box, okay? And that's why I want the overlap, because what you're going to do is you're going to take this, you're going to grab all these pieces, you're going to go to your pathfinder, and you're going to unite it, all right? Now we have one solid piece. See that? Okay? When it comes to the eyeball, all right, I'm going to take a circle, obviously, all right? And we're going to do a knockout. All right, it can be if the eye's a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, I'm fine with that. All right, it's going to be a knockout. I don't want it to be color in there, so I'm going to take this and line it up just like this. All right, and if you remember, I'm going to click on this, and if I hit minus front, boom, it's cut out. Okay, we want that to be a knockout. No color involved in there. Now the shadow is pretty easy. Again, it's the pen tool. All right, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to take my pen tool, and there's a little, you can even see the JPEG is a little messed up. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to try to match that tail angle, all right, a little bit. I'm going to click back on the start. There's a tiny little arc to that. I'm going to click here to here, and there's a little bend in that as well, all right? And I'm going to take this, and for now, I'm going to grab and just take that color, all right? Now I'm going to bring this over to my bird, which isn't going to be exact, okay, because I had some shift in the line. So you can see, if I line this up, what I got going on. You can fix it very easily. Direct selection tool, I'm going to click on this endpoint, and I'm going to pull it to this point, okay? And I'm going to click on this point, and I'm going to snap it to this point as well. You got to zoom in sometimes. The snap to guides don't work as when you're zoomed out. And then I'm going to come out a little bit here, and I'm going to pull my anchors. Okay, and sometimes if you want to, put it in a stroke format, but you don't have to, okay? I'm going to pull these points until they line up. Okay, so I don't see the green anymore. All right. I take this, I just grab this. You don't even need to make a swatch of this. I'll make it easy for you. All right, and there's your bird. And you would take this and group it. Okay? So again, it's pen tool, really kind of refining our pen tool skills. If I go back in and I look at areas like I'm going to be really picky for myself, see this little bump here? I'm going to click on the direct selection tool. I'm going to click on that little point and I'm going to round it a little bit so you don't see it anymore. Okay? The pen tool with your connections, the more connections you have that don't line up, you're going to end up with those little tiny impurities, which will drive you a little nutty if you're trying to get things to look perfect. Okay? That's where we're at. Good luck.